Okay, what's going on, guys? Our early players joining in. I've got too much crap on my desk. I'm just trying to get situated here. Before we get going, we'll give it a minute or two and give it time for everybody who's going to join in tonight's game to come in and play along. Just putting the score sheets below link in the comments there if you want to grab one of our official Play at Home Nights score sheet. Go ahead and do that. Let me get this up on the iPad here so I might be able to see Facebook comments as the game goes on. I don't want that. All right. There we are. All right. Let's go through our rules here real fast. How we play the game. I'm assuming whoever is in here knows how to play, but we're going to go ahead and do this anyway. Let me get the screen sharing going. Give me 1 second here. We'll get rolling with our rules for tonight's game. Just waiting for the computer to catch up. There we are. All righty. Here's how we play our Play at Home Trivia Nights. We'll go through the fast version of our rules. We're playing 5 rounds of pub-style trivia. First round is a picture round, followed by 3 specific categories, and we'll end the night with a round of general trivia. Each round is made up of 5 questions worth 1 point each, and a bonus question, which are usually harder, worth 2 points. So 30 questions asked in all. Game takes about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes to complete. Here's how it's going to go. I'm going to read you the questions. They're going to show up on the screen as well with a picture clue. You're going to write down your answers on your own score sheets at home. Please don't put any in the comment section. You can use either the score sheets I have put the link to in the comments, or they are also pinned to the top of the Trivia Nights with Greg Facebook page, or you can use any piece of scratchbook paper you've got lying around. Just make sure you have enough room for 30 answers, and you group your answers together by round. So I'm going to read you the questions. You're putting them down on your score sheet. Then I will repeat the entire round for you immediately. So you'll get the questions twice. Then I'll give you a minute to finalize your answers before I reveal the correct answers to you. Then you will score your own score sheets at home. So we're playing on the honor system. Please, no cheating, no looking up answers, changing answers, filling in the blanks, any of that stuff. Keep it on the straight and narrow. We're just playing for fun, keep our brains exercised, and have a little bit of a distraction. At the end of the final round, we're going to take a pic. Well, you guys, not me, are going to take a picture of your score sheet, send it to me via Facebook Messenger or Twitter, or post your final score in the YouTube comments. I'll take a minute, figure out who our big winner is tonight, and then announce our top 5 if we have 5 teams playing tonight. As always, you're allowed to double your score for one of the 5 rounds tonight, and you simply do that by circling the entire round that you want to double before you hear the answers. So that moment in between when I read the questions and when I reveal the answers, if you're real confident in a particular round, you think you got all 6 right, that's when you circle the entire group to get double the score. Please don't wait till after the answers are read and you realize you got all 6 right and then double it, or don't wait to the end of the night and just pick your best round. So please pick the round you are looking to double before you hear the answers to that round. So basically, the three big infractions are putting answers in the comment section, cheating of any kind, looking up answers, and then doubling your score before, or I should say after, you've heard the answers for that particular round. So those are the rules. Here are tonight's categories. We're going to play the categories we were supposed to do Wednesday. Again, I apologize for having to cancel our Wednesday and Thursday night games. My trusty old webcam decided to take a crap, and it wasn't responding anymore, so I had no way to get to the game online for you. So I had to wait at the mercy of the Amazon driver who showed up Friday morning. So these are the categories we were supposed to play Wednesday, but we'll play tonight. Name That Band is the picture round. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 different musical groups. You have to tell me which band is in the picture. NFL playoffs got underway this weekend. We'll do some trivia questions about those in round 2. Horror movie sequels is round number 3. Everybody loves a good sequel or movie franchise. Green Things is round 4. And no, that is not a marijuana round. It's about all kinds of things that are green. And we'll end our night with general trivia. And real quick, as you see scrolling on the bottom, that, of course, is my PayPal and Venmo information. If you're looking to show a little generosity and send a tip, you can do that through Venmo or PayPal. Another way to help out, if you don't want to send a tip, it's heading over to that HockeyWriters.com author page. That's scrolling at the bottom too and clicking away there. The more clicks I get over at the Hockey Writers, the more money they send me. So with my 2 main sources of income still on hiatus, I can't host trivia in public in large groups and get paid to do so, and there's no hockey games or scouting assignments for me to cover at the moment. Even when they do start up, I'm not going to be able to go to them, at least at first. So the tipping and the clicking at the Hockey Writers, that's the best way to help out these times. So those are our rules. Those are our categories. A little bit of begging and pleading. There'll be more of that as the show goes on. But it's time to play trivia. That's why you guys are here on this Sunday night. We're going to get it kicked off, as we always do, with our picture round. And our picture round tonight is Name That Band. Name That Band. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 different bands, musical groups, whatever you want to call them. You just have to identify who they are. Simple as that. Here we go. Band number 1. Little old school picture of a band that's still around, still playing. Different band members, a few different band members, but they're still out there. What's the name of this band right here? All right, band number 2. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. These guys were great. They had this launched a career for another musical group and a couple of solo artists. Good stuff out of these guys. All right. Band number 3, here they are. One of the modern groups in this collection. And yeah, Yeah, those are some punchable faces right there. I'm just going to say that out loud. Punchable faces in this band right here. Number 4, band number 4. Here we are. One of my favorite bands from the 90s. They released new music in the last year or so. Got back on the road before everything went to crap. But this is band number 4. What is the name of this band? And number 5, another current band. These guys are pretty popular. I'm not 100% sure why. I mean, they write catchy tunes, I guess. Not my cup of tea. Not for me, but the kids like them. The kids dig them. I'm not their target audience anyway, so I'm cool with that. Let's do our bonus question for Name That Band, our picture round, for 2 points. What was the name of the band formed by members of Rage Against the Machine and the former lead singer of Soundgarden? For 2 points, what was the name of the band that was formed by members of Rage Against the Machine and the former lead singer of Soundgarden? Rage Against the Machine was without a lead singer. The lead singer of Soundgarden was without a band. They formed a partnership and made a new band that released a couple of really good records. At first, when this project was first announced, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. I mean, I always liked Rage Against the Machine. I love Soundgarden. I just thought, I don't think that's going to work, but it worked pretty good. So what was the name of that band? Let's go through these picture clues one more time. There's band number 1 for the older players in the room. There's number 2 a second time for you. Those outfits. These guys were so cool. They got to wear their pajamas on stage and nobody cared. There's number 3 again. And number 4. Band number 4. And here's number 5 one last time for you. And that bonus question one more time for you. For 2 points, what was the name of the band that was formed by the members of Rage Against the Machine and the former lead singer of Soundgarden? Rage Against the Machine and Soundgarden. They combined forces to make what band? All right, I'm going to give you guys a moment or two to finalize those answers. Now I'll come back and reveal what we got for you. Again, thank you guys for sticking it out. Apologize again for having to cancel Wednesday night and Thursday's theme night. Webcam just didn't want to work. Of all the craziness that was going on Wednesday, to top that off, the webcam just wasn't working. So wasn't able to broadcast, but we got a new cam up and running, so we're able to get this done. And we're ready to get back to our regular games. So let's get back to our answers for Name That Band. Picture around. Here's band number 1. These guys, legends from Rockford, Illinois, just down the road. One of my all-time favorite bands. I love these guys. Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick is band number 1. Some good old-fashioned Rockford boys who have done well for themselves. They're huge in Rockford. They got their own street signs and everything. Number 2, this was the band that, I don't necessarily call them a band, boy band maybe. These are the ones that introduced us to Bobby Brown and Belle Biv DeVoe. Johnny Gill. Was it Johnny Gill? Was he the other guy? I can't think of right now. I think so, yes. New Edition. This is New Edition. Some great old early 80s R&B boy band music. Good stuff right there. Number 3, super popular band. These are Illinois guys too. Not Rockford. I think they're from the is it Wilmette or one of those rich suburbs. This is Fall Out Boy. Again, not my cup of tea, but they're popular. I'm not their target audience anyway, because, you know, I don't have cool hats like that. Number 4, this is Garbage. Garbage, one of my favorite bands from the 90s. The 3 guys in the back, they actually had a band in Madison, Wisconsin called Firetown. Released an album or 2, but they were really going nowhere. So they were like, hey, I know, let's get a sexy female lead singer from Scotland and rename ourselves, and all of a sudden we'll be cool. And that's exactly what happened. Number 5, another really popular band that I don't get, but that's, what do I know? Imagine Dragons are these 4 dudes right there. Imagine Dragons. Yeah, I don't get them, but again, I'm out of the age group that they are trying to get money from. Bonus question, 2 points. What was the name of the band formed by Rage Against the Machine members and the former lead singer of Soundgarden, Chris Cornell? Those guys were named Audio Slave. Audio Slave was that name. Audio Slave. Sorry, distracted. Those are good band. They released a couple of really good albums, but anything that Chris Cornell sang, I was going to be a fan of. He can sing names out of the phone book, and I would buy that album. R.I.P. Mr. Cornell, gone way too soon. All right, that wraps up our picture round. Let's move on to round number 2. NFL playoffs is the category. The playoffs started this weekend. Thankfully, we don't have to watch the Chicago Bears pretend to play big-time football anymore. They were put out of their misery like a horse at the track. The Saints pulled out the curtain and put them out of their misery. Thank God. Hopefully, there's some changes made there. They had no business being in the playoffs anyway. But anywho, let's talk about some NFL playoffs, as they will continue for the next couple weeks without the Bears, but we're used to that. Number 1. Before today, only 2 quarterbacks over the age of 40 have won a playoff game. Tom Brady is one of them. Who is the other? Before today, a 3rd guy joined this party, because of course they did. But when I wrote this question for Wednesday's game, there was only 2 quarterbacks over the age of 40 who have won a playoff game. Tom Brady is one of them. Who is the other? And no, I will not count the guy who was over 40 who won today, and that would be Drew Brees. So the answer is not Drew Brees. He is now, but when I wrote this question on Wednesday, Drew Brees had not won a playoff game over the age of 40 yet, but he did now. So Tom Brady and who else won playoff games over the age of 40 before today? Question 2, speaking of our beloved Bears here in Chicago, they defeated what team in the famous Fog Bowl game in 1988? Was it the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, or the Minnesota Vikings? The Bears beat who in the famous Fog Bowl game of 1988? Was it the Giants, the Eagles, or the Vikings? That was a classic. I remember watching this on TV with my dad. Like the first half was fine, and then like halftime, this fog moved in. I'm sure if you're not old enough to remember this game, you've seen the pictures, or you've seen the highlights. Look it up on YouTube. You literally, I mean, that was the view of the cameras. I don't know how they played or the refs saw it, but you couldn't see anything. And there were probably 60,000, 50,000 fans that paid a lot of money, even in 1988, to be there, and I couldn't see like anything in the second half. But it's one of those weird days, that's for sure. But who did the Bears beat on that weird day in 88? Was it the Giants, the Eagles, or the Vikings? Question 3, true or false, Mark Sanchez has a higher career passer rating in the playoffs than John Elway, Steve Young, and Tom Brady? True or false, Mark Sanchez has a higher passer rating in the playoffs than John Elway, Steve Young, and Tom Brady? The Sanchez, isn't that what they call him? Former Bear, Mark Sanchez. When I researched this round for the questions, I completely forgot that Mark Sanchez was a Chicago Bear at one point. All right, number 4. The Ice Bowl. We've had the Fog Bowl. Now we're moving on to the Ice Bowl. Remains the coldest game in NFL playoff history with a kickoff temperature of minus 13 degrees. Yeah, F that. I ain't sitting out in that temperature for anything. Who did the Green Bay Packers beat on this day? Was it the Los Angeles Rams, the St. Louis Cardinals, or the Dallas Cowboys? The Ice Bowl, I believe this was 1966, 65 or 66. It was it's still the coldest game in NFL playoff history with a kickoff temperature of negative 13 degrees. Who did the Packers beat on this day? Was it the Los Angeles Rams before they moved and then came back to Los Angeles? Was it the St. Louis Cardinals before they moved away? Or was it the Dallas Cowboys, who are still in Dallas? St. Louis Cardinals started in Chicago. They played at Comiskey Park, the Chicago Cardinals, while the Bears played at Wrigley. Then they moved to St. Louis. Then St. Louis says, no, we don't like football. They went to Arizona, where they still are. The LA Rams actually started in Cleveland, then went to LA, then went to St. Louis, and now they're back in LA. The Cowboys have stayed put since day one. Number 5, what team holds the NFL record with 9 consecutive playoff losses? What team holds the NFL record with 9 consecutive playoff losses? They still hold this record. I used to try to collect all these helmets. I love these helmets. Remember, you used to get them out of the gumball machine for like $0.25. Those things were so cool. I might have to go on eBay and find a vintage set of these with the old helmets. Some of those teams don't even exist anymore. You got Houston Oilers. back there. Old school Broncos helmet. Cool stuff. I remember those as a kid. And the bonus question for 2 points. Name the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history who have over 1,000 pass attempts in the playoffs. For 2 points, name the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history who have over 1,000 pass attempts in the NFL playoffs. There's 2 guys. If you want to get full credit and 2 points for this, I got to have both players' names. If you happen to only get one of them right, you can give yourself 1 point. Of course, if you don't get either, that's a big fat 0. Let's do our let's repeat these for you. Not the answers just yet. I'm going to repeat them. Question 1, before today, only 2 quarterbacks over the age of 40 have won a playoff game. Tom Brady is one. Who's the other? Not including Drew Brees, who made it 3 this afternoon versus the Bears. If you're wondering why I keep looking up, I've got the Blackhawks scrimmage on my TV, so trying to multitask. Number 2, the Bears defeated what team in the famous Fog Bowl of 1988? Was it the Giants, the Eagles, or the Vikings? Number 3, true or false? Mark Sanchez has a higher career passer rating in the playoffs than John Elway, Steve Young, and Tom Brady. Number 4, the Ice Bowl remains the coldest game in NFL playoff history with a kickoff temp of 13 degrees below 0. Who the Green Bay Packers beat in this infamous game? Was it the LA Rams, the St. Louis Cardinals, or the Dallas Cowboys? Number 5, what team holds the NFL record to this day with 9 consecutive playoff losses? Which team likes to go to the playoffs and then immediately lose? The bonus question for 2 points, name the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history who have over 1,000 pass attempts in the playoffs. Who are the only 2 quarterbacks to throw over 1,000 passes in playoff games? Just 2 guys, need them both if you would like to get the bonus points. We'll take a moment to let you guys finalize those answers. Once again, if you want to get your own customized play-at-home trivia night, either for something to host on your own, or if you'd like to have me join your video teleconference call and host a virtual trivia night, send me an email, gjb1979@gmail.com, and we could figure it out and do some business. If you know anybody who wants to do trivia or sponsor trivia, that's where you can get a hold of me. Also, please make sure you like the Facebook page for Trivia Nights with Greg. That's where you'll stay updated on all trivia stuff. And when we get back to playing the in-person games, hopefully soon at Firewater Saloon on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that's where you'll get all the categories, free questions of the week, players' choice polls, all that fun stuff is over there. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you'll get all my links to all my hockey coverage over at the Hockey Writers with the Blackhawks, the AHL, and NHL. And if you're a big Blackhawks fan, you don't want to miss tomorrow night's episode of Blackhawks Banter that I'll be hosting on Facebook Live through the Hockey Writers page and the Hockey Writers YouTube channel. That starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. It's our season preview episode. I'm excited. We're going to have some predictions, talk about actual hockey games that are coming this week. Fun stuff. So that's tomorrow night. All right, let's get back to our game tonight. NFL, not the NHL, the NFL playoffs. Let's see how well you know your NFL football playoff trivia. Number 1, the only 2 quarterbacks before today over the age of 40 who have won a playoff game. There's just 2 of them. Tom Brady was one. Brett Favre was the other. Of course, Drew Brees is now part of that club. So it's 3, but this round was originally written for Wednesday. So Drew Brees hadn't beaten the Bears by then. Number 2, speaking of the Bears, they defeated what team in the famous Fog Bowl in 1988? That was the very exciting Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles. They beat the Eagles. The fog helped them, I think. Definitely. Number 3, true or false, Mark Sanchez, former Bear great Mark Sanchez, has a higher career passer rating in the playoffs than John Elway, Steve Young, and Tom Brady. Believe it or not, that is true. It's actually quite the impressive list of Hall of Fame quarterbacks that he has a better passer rating than in 6 games. Granted, guys like Elway, Young, and Brady played a lot more games and won a lot more games than he ever did. But if you're a passer rating guy, Mark Sanchez has one of the best in NFL playoff history for what it's worth, which isn't a whole lot. Number 4, the Ice Bowl. It's still the coldest NFL playoff game. It was freezing cold that day, and the Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys at Lambeau Field in the frost and the ice. Dallas Cowboys is question 4. Number 5, what team holds the NFL record with 9 consecutive playoff losses? That would be the only team that makes you feel better for being a Bears fan sometimes. The Detroit Lions. Every time you're ready to just be like, I don't know why I'm a fan of the stupid Bears, the Lions come around and you go, you know what? It could be worse. So thank you, Lions, for making us Bears fans feel better every once in a while. And the bonus question for 2 points, name the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history who have attempted 1,000 pass attempts in the playoffs. I hope you were thinking of some more current quarterbacks, guys who've played in a lot of games. We're talking about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, 2 of the best to ever do it. Those are our answers for the bonus question. Got to have both Brady and Manning if you want the full credit and the 2 points. So that concludes NFL playoffs. We're going to go from NFLs to horror movies. It was might as well been watching a horror movie when the Bears were on offense today. Horror movie sequels. Lord knows there have been a ton of horror movie sequels made. Some good, a lot not so good. We're going to talk about horror movie sequels. I've been sitting on this round for a couple of weeks, but I wasn't going to do this during the I wrote this round for the Halloween trivia night, but didn't get it in there, and been sitting on it. Didn't want to do horror movie sequels like around Christmas, but now that Christmas is over, we can do this. Here's question 1. Let's see how many horror movie freaks we got in the room tonight. What 6 movie series featured the Umbrella Corporation? What 6 movie series featured the Umbrella Corporation? Some of you probably heard about the Umbrella Corporation from video games before movies. And I couldn't believe they actually made 6 movies of this franchise. I had to double check that. It didn't sound right, but it's right. They made 6 of these movies. What movie franchise had the Umbrella Corporation? I don't know if I saw any of these movies. Maybe the first one, but I don't think any after that. Number 2, in which year was Scream 4 released? Yeah, they got all the way up to 4. Brought back some of the original cast too, apparently. Was that 2007, 2011, or 2013? In which year was the masterpiece Scream 4 released? 07, 11, or 13? I remember seeing the original Scream in theaters a couple of times. That was a really good one. I enjoyed the first Scream. It was somewhat original. I'm not the biggest horror movie guy. I know you've heard me say that before, but I do appreciate original stories. That's my issue with the horror movie genre. There's not a lot of new ideas being put out there. A lot of rehashing the same old stuff. But the first Scream was pretty original. I enjoyed that. I don't think I made it to 4. I think I saw 2 and I jumped off after that. Number 3, true or false, The Ghost Dimension was the subtitle of the 3rd installment of the Paranormal Activities series. True or false, The Ghost Dimension was the subtitle of the 3rd installment of the Paranormal Activities series. That's another one they made a whole bunch of. I know I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one, maybe the third one. I know there were a couple more after that. This one was sort of original. They were copying the whole Blair Witch real thing, but they just did it a little differently. The first one was okay. But after a while, you're kind of like, how many times can you do the same thing over? Number 4, where does Jason go in a film called The Final Friday? Was it hell, purgatory, or the DMV? Is there really any difference between those 3 places? Where does Jason go in the film called The Final Friday? Hell, purgatory, or the DMV? Of course, Jason Voorhees, the famous character from the Friday the 13th movies. They've made thousands of these movies, at least it seems like it. They make it, they reboot it, they make it again, they reboot it. Oh, well, whatever. If they didn't make money, they wouldn't maybe keep making these movies. It's as simple as that. Somebody's seeing them. Number 5, Jack Black played a stoner in what Jennifer Love Hewitt horror movie sequel? Jack Black played a stoner in what Jennifer Love Hewitt horror movie sequel? I think this character was obviously parodied in Club Dread from the Broken Lizard Boys. I love that movie. That movie's great. What horror movie sequel did Jack Black play a stoner in along with Jennifer Love Hewitt before he was real famous? And the bonus question for 2 points. What is the name of the mask manufacturer in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch? This has become kind of a cult classic, Halloween 3. It's the only of the Halloween movies, the 700 Halloween movies, that didn't feature Michael Myers. They tried to do a little different, and it was a story about these Halloween masks that would like demonically possess all the kids that wore them. But there was this stupid commercial with like a countdown to Halloween that was on a bunch during the movie where they said the name of the manufacturer. So if you remember that, if you've seen this movie, it's hard to not know the name. It's said a bunch of times. What was the name of the mask manufacturer in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch? That is the bonus question. Let's repeat these for you real quick for you. Question number 1, what 6-movie horror movie franchise featured the Umbrella Corporation? The Umbrella Corporation. What horror movie franchise was that found in? Number 2, in which year was Scream 4 released? Was that 2007, 2011, or 2013? 7, 11, or 13? Number 3, True or False, The Ghost Dimension was the subtitle of the 3rd installment of the Paranormal Activity series. Number 4, where does Jason go in the film called The Final Friday? Was that hell, purgatory, or the DMV? Where does Jason go in the Final Friday movie? Hell, purgatory, or the DMV? Number 5, Jack Black played a stoner in what Jennifer Love Hewitt horror movie sequel? And the bonus question for 2 points. What is the name of the mask manufacturer in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch? This movie, I think it ticked off a lot of people at first because there was no Michael Myers in it. So it was kind of a break off. But in years past, it's gotten a cult following. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. All right. Take a break here. Let you finalize those answers. In case you're wondering, our theme nights, we were supposed to do our theme night Thursday before the technical difficulties reared their ugly heads. So we're just going to push back all of our theme nights. We were supposed to do Arnold Schwarzenegger this past Thursday. We'll do the Arnold trivia this week on the 14th. So everything will just get pushed back a week. Means next week, the 21st, we'll do Oh Canada. Then Seinfeld on the 28th. Star Wars that first Thursday of February, the 4th. So we're just going to we'll do the same order, just push them back. We got that Arnold Schwarzenegger night this Thursday. And he released a little video this today on YouTube, or it might be on YouTube. I saw it on Twitter. Interesting stuff from our guy Arnold, if you're a history person. And he revealed some pretty personal stuff in this video too, so I recommend checking that out. All right, here we go. Question 1. Let's do our answers. Horror movie sequels is the category. Number 1, what 6-movie series featured the Umbrella Corporation? Those are also found in a bunch of video games by the same title. Resident Evil. Resident Evil is what we're looking for. I don't know if, I don't think I saw the movies. I played the first couple of video games. Didn't see the movies. Number 2, what year was Scream 4 released? 2011 is when that movie came out. 2011. Did you guess that one right? Number 3, true or false, The Ghost Dimension was the subtitle of the 3rd installment of the Paranormal Activity series. That is false. False. Ghost Dimension was the 5th Paranormal Activity movie. Yes, they got up to 5. I think they even got 6. I don't know. A lot of those movies. Number 4, where does Jason go in a film called The Final Friday? Jason Goes to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell is the name of that movie, The Final Friday. Though I would pay to see a movie, not a lot of money, but I'd pay a few bucks to see a movie called Jason Goes to the DMV. That would be a fun movie. Number 5, Jack Black played a stoner in what Jennifer Love Hewitt horror movie sequel. They made a couple of these movies. This was right around the whole Scream phenomenon. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they killed the Gordon's fisherman guy and he came back to poison them with terrible frozen fish. Bonus question for 2 points. What was the name of the mask manufacturer in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? If you've seen this, you know it. They say it a bunch of times in that song where they sing like 4 more days to Halloween. Silver Shamrock. That's the name. The Silver Shamrock makes the devil masks. Next Halloween, if this is on, I recommend watching it. Not great, but it's fun. It's a stupid horror movie. It's fun. All right. That wraps up horror movies. We're going to move on to Green Things. Green Things is round number 4. We'll talk about, guess what? Things that are green. Simple as that. All right. Question 1 in our Green Things round. Round number 4 of 5 we're playing tonight. Number 1, what Spider-Man villain infamously killed Gwen Stacy? What Spider-Man villain infamously killed Gwen Stacy? At least in one of the movies. Number 2, which one of these songs was not released by the band Green Day? Walking Contradiction, Longview, or Hash Pipe? Which one of these songs was not released by the band Green Day? Was it Walking Contradiction, Longview, or Hash Pipe? Two of those songs are Green Day songs. One of them is not. Which one is not? Walking Contradiction, Longview, or Hash Pipe? One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. All right, number 3. True or false? Granny Smith apples are named after a woman named Maria Ann. True or false? Granny Smith apples are named after a woman named Maria Ann. Number 4, which instrument does Don Shirley play in the film The Green Book? Was it the piano, the trumpet, or the drums? Which instrument does Don Shirley play in the film The Green Book? Was it the piano, trumpet, or drums? Looking for the instrument Don Shirley played in The Green Book. Piano, trumpet, or drums? Question 5. What villains with square craniums were always after the lovable green character Gumby? What villains with square craniums were always after our favorite green buddy, Gumby? What were the names of the squared cranium villains from Gumby? And our bonus question in the Green Things round. For 2 points in its original release, how many books made up Stephen King's The Green Mile? For 2 points in its original release, how many books made up Stephen King's Green Mile? I know now you can just get it in one big book, but when it first came out, it came out in like smaller novels that they released like 8 or 9 chapters at a time in a series of smaller books. I mean, this was at a time when Stephen King was super popular, so it was just a way to make more money. Good idea. I don't think he can do that today. He's still writing, but he hasn't had that huge book in a long time. But for 2 points, in its original release, how many books made up Stephen King's The Green Mile? Let's repeat our Green Things questions for you. Number 1, what Spider-Man villain killed Gwen Stacy? Which one of the Spider-Man villains offed Gwen Stacy? Number 2, which one of these songs was not released by the band Green Day? Was it Walking Contradiction, Longview, or Hash Pipe? Number 3, true or false, Granny Smith apples are named after a woman named Maria Ann. Maria Ann. Number 4, which instrument does Don Shirley play in the film The Green Book? Was it the pianos, the trumpet, or the drums? Piano, trumpet, or drums? Which one of those was Don Shirley? Number 5, what villains with square craniums were always after the green character Gumby? Number 6 for 2 points. Not number 6. Well, technically number 6. The bonus question for 2 points. And its original release. How many books made up Stephen King's Green Mile? The Green Mile came out in how many installments? Give you a moment to finalize those answers. Don't forget, we do this every week, 4 days, 4 nights a week. Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That is when the computer and webcam talk to each other. So, we'll be back Tuesday night and Wednesday night for our standard game with some random categories. If there's a category you want to play, please let me know. We'll make that happen. Either when you send in your score sheet, include some category ideas, or send me an email, post on the Facebook wall, send me a tweet, send me a raven like they do in Game of Thrones, smoke signals, however you want to do it. Let me know what kind of categories you want to play on a future Play at Home trivia night. These nights are for you, not for me. I just sit here and read the questions to myself. You guys are the ones playing along. So there's categories you guys want to play. Hit me up. I'll make it happen. And then, of course, Thursday nights are our theme nights. Arnold Schwarzenegger trivia. We'll get that. We'll get to it this Thursday, I promise. All right, green things. Let's get through these answers, and then we can move on to our final round of the night. Number 1, what Spider-Man villain infamously killed Gwen Stacy? The Green Goblin. The Green Goblin. I'm not sure who's in the room tonight, but if our Chicago-Cleveland duo team is in the room, I know they're happy right now. Apparently the Browns are up a whole bunch on the Steelers. Number 2, which one of these songs was not released by the band Green Day? They did not release the song Hash Pipe. Hash Pipe. That's a Weezer song. Number 3, true or false, Granny Smith apples are named after a woman, Maria Ann. That's true. Maria Ann Smith, where we got the Granny Smith apple name from. Number 4, what instrument did Don Shirley play? He played the piano. He was a famous piano player. Number 5, what are the name of the villains with the square craniums that love to mess with Gumby? They were the Blockheads. The Blockheads. And the bonus question for 2 points. In its original release, how many books made up Stephen King's The Green Mile? 6. That came out with a little 6-book series to tell the complete story of the Green Mile. That's how big of a book that is. They spread it out into 6 smaller books. All right, let's do it. Let's do our final round of the night. General trivia. Here's where I ask you some random questions. Hopefully you're going to come up with the specific answers. And then after this round, you're going to add up the scores from all 5 of your rounds. Put your final score on your score sheet. Take out your fancy smartphones. Take a picture of it. Send that to me on Facebook Messenger. You can send it to either the Trivia Nights with Greg page or my personal page. If you're over on the Periscopes, you can send that into my Twitter DMs. If you're on YouTube and you don't have Facebook access, you can't put pictures on YouTube. So you can just put your final score in the comments. That will pop up. If not, if you got another way to send me a picture, please do. All right, general trivia. Here we go. Final round of the night. Let's get it done. Number 1, in astronomy, what term means between stars? In astronomy, what term means between stars? Question number 2. What David Bowie song opens with the lyric "Ground Control to Major Tom"? What David Bowie classic opens with the lyric "Ground Control to Major Tom"? That song is not called Major Tom. Number 3, what language originated the phrase "per se"? What language gave us the phrase "per se"? Number 4, what continent are guinea pigs native to? What continent are the guinea pigs native to? Oh, look at the cute little guinea pigs. Number 5, what is the alter ego of cartoon heroine Princess Andorra? What is the alter ego of cartoon heroine Princess Andorra? And our bonus question, the final question of the evening for 2 points. What type of metal does a whitesmith traditionally work with? We've all heard of blacksmiths, but what type of metal does a whitesmith traditionally work with? Ooh, 28-0 Cleveland Browns over the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first half. Maybe the Bears should have caught some of that COVID. They may have done better. Who knows? Couldn't have done any worse. Browns get half their team on COVID, including their head coach, and then they're killing Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Sports, baby. That's why they played a game. That's what my dad used to tell me. Let's repeat the questions for our bonus, or not our bonus, our general trivia round. Number 1, in astronomy, what term means between stars? In astronomy, what term means between stars? Number 2, what David Bowie song opens with the lyric "Ground Control to Major Tom"? What's the name of the David Bowie song that opens with the lyric "Ground Control to Major Tom"? It was just Ziggy's birthday a couple days ago. David Bowie, man, was he just super, super talented. There's a documentary on his final years on HBO. I haven't had a chance to watch that, but it's definitely on my to-do list. I love David Bowie, not just for his music, but just the person he was. Taught a lot of people, myself included, at a young age, that it's okay to be weird. Just be yourself and you'll be okay. Number 3, what language originated the phrase "per se"? What language gave us the phrase "per se"? Number 4, what continent are the guinea pigs native to? Where did we first find these cute little fuzzy guys? Number 5, what is the alter ego of cartoon heroine Princess Andorra? What other name did she go by? If you're a child of the 80s and you don't get this, shame, know your name. The bonus question, last question for 2 points. What metal does a whitesmith traditionally work with? What type of metal would a whitesmith use? All right, I'm going to give you guys a minute to finalize those answers. Don't forget you are sending me your final scores, your pictures of your score sheets, as soon as I reveal the answers to you right here in a moment. Then I will take a moment to figure out who our top 5 is tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on this Sunday evening as we put to rest a crazy week and start another new week. All right, let's do our answers for the final round. General trivia. Let's see who our big winners are going to be tonight. Round number 1, question 1, round 5. In astronomy, what term means between stars? Maybe you've seen the movie with Matthew McConaughey as an astronaut. Then you'd know interstellar is the word we're looking for. Interstellar is question number 1's answer. Number 2, what David Bowie song opens with the lyric Ground Control of Major Tom? A lot of people call the song Major Tom or Ground Control of Major Tom, but the name of the song is Space Oddity. Space Oddity. Great song. Number 3, excuse me, getting all choked up. What language gave us the phrase per se? Latin. That is a Latin term. Number 4, what continent are the guinea pigs native to? They come from South America. The South American continent are the guinea pigs. Number 5, what is the alter ego of the cartoon heroine Princess Andorra? By the power of Grayskull, Princess Andorra turned into She-Ra. She-Ra and He-Man. Prince Adam and Princess Andorra. There you go. And the bonus for 2 points. What type of metal does a whitesmith traditionally work with? They traditionally work with tin. Tin, not doing the heavy lifting, are the whitesmiths, but they are tin workers traditionally. So that is that. That is our question and answer portion. I'm going to get out of the share screen mode here and get back to some full screen for you guys. And now I'm just waiting on you guys to start sending me your final scores, and we'll figure out who our big winner is tonight. I am going to get out of this, grab my trusty pen and paper, and let's see who our big Sunday night winner is. Got a couple scores checking in. We have Team STD, the full squad. Thank you guys, as always. I have your score. All right, what else we got going on here? Let's move over here. I see some scores on the other page. We have Team Rios, Joey and Anna. You're not going to win with that kind of attitude. Let's see here. Started off good. And it all fell apart. All right. We have Casey. I have your score for Rico and the Twins. Thank you for checking back in. Appreciate it. Waiting on a couple others to pop in here. Yeah, I know I can cross app. You told me that 3,000 times, Facebook. You don't have to tell me anymore. All right. DI and Chorus. Steve and Mike. Thanks, guys. I can't read this last name. We're blue. If we're green, we would die. Okay. I don't get the reference, but it happens. Thank you, guys. Can't figure out the third name on. Is it Newman? But I have your score, whatever your names are. I know DI and Steve. After that. All right, let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Thinking maybe our Chicago Cleveland team is watching the Browns play tonight. I'll keep this open to make sure I don't miss anybody. But let's get these scores on the board so we can move on with our Sunday nights. I don't know. We had more people in the room, at least watching towards the end, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 people dropped off. So maybe some people weren't doing so hot and they don't want to share their score. Right. We're going to do our top 4 for the night. Let me just double check, make sure we didn't get anybody sliding in here late. It happens from time to time. All right. Well, we're just going to go with our top 4 tonight. We have in 4th place, 25 points, Team STD, Stacy, Tracy, and Dave. Thank you, guys. Hopefully you guys are being good and staying safe. You guys are in 4th place. In 3rd place with 33, Team Rios, our race board warriors, Joey and Anna. Thank you, guys, as always. 3rd place tonight. 2nd place, Rico and the Twins. You guys have 36 points. That is good enough for 2nd place tonight. Some 36. That's runner up. 1 point out of the top spot. DI, course, and knew something. I couldn't read the final name on your sheet, but you guys are our big winners tonight, and I've been informed what the reference was on your score sheet. The Eiffel 65 reference. That had to be DI. That had to be a DI move right there, if I had to guess. But you guys are our winners, regardless of the references or the third name on your score sheet. You had the most points, 37. Thank you guys for checking in and playing tonight. Hopefully we'll see you back Tuesday night. That's when we're getting back together again. I promise. I have a brand new webcam. If this one breaks down, then we've got problems. But we should be good to go for 3 more nights of Play at Home trivia coming up this week. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Don't forget Blackhawks Banter is tomorrow night at 7 with the Hockey Writers, either on Facebook Live or on their YouTube page. But that will be saved and posted, so you don't have to watch live if you don't want to. But check that out. I'll definitely be posting the links of that when we're done. We're going to do our season preview episode tonight. So thanks, everybody. Be safe, be responsible, be smart, be good to yourselves and one another. And we'll see you back here Tuesday night.